Captain Adam here from Reel to Reel Outdoors. Thanks for tuning in to Captain's Roundtable today. We have some great captains with us. Can't wait to introduce them. But before we get started, we got to give a big shout out to Ludington Beverage and to Captain Chucks for making this all happen. So real quick, do us a favor before we get started. Hit that subscribe button and hit the reminder bell, and you'll get updates every time we release a new video. So let's meet those captains.
Captain Kevin Hackert Family Charters. We run the Real Faster 37-foot Sea Ray out of Ludington, Michigan.
I'm Dennis Plumondon with Untitled Charters, fishing out of Ludington, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Captain Dave Ellis, Salmon Slayer Sport Fishing Charters out of Ludington, Michigan.
All right, so today on Captain's Roundtable, we're going to talk about our best top 5 or 6 or 7, in some cases, king salmon baits for 2021. But before we get there, we got to thank Captain Chucks for making this all happen, and also big shout out to Mick Ultra for sponsoring this episode. So, Davey, you want to get us started on the best king baits you got?
All righty, yeah, certainly. This here is just the standard 10-inch Dragon Slayer. It's got a kind of a customized Green Mile meat rig on it. It's got a little glow head on there, but
Green Mile Froggy.
yeah, and that's been pretty good on a high diver. This particular one here is by far my best. This is a 10-inch yellow bikini bottom, and it's like a green UV meat rig, and it's got a clear UV head on it. Also a replacement head. That's been very, very good on a high diver all summer. Probably caught more kings on my boat than anything. Then we have a couple of Dreamweaver Cut Plugs. This one here has been customized a little. It's just a glow, but I
Like the zebra.
put a black ladder back on it with a black marker. And this is the good old Lucky Charms. That too has been very good. Been running those on 200, 300 copper, 350. And of course the old.
Oh, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. The old Raspberry Carbon. This one here is kind of old and a little beat up. It's probably worth at least, I don't know, $150.
We'll have that on. That would be on eBay.
Yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, free shipping.
And then this here, not so much out on the big lake, but at the pier heads, and very much so inside the harbor. A number 3 chrome, either a J plug or a silver horde. This one just happens to be a silver horde, but the number 3 size with the rattle.
Oh yeah.
That is probably the top producer inside Pecan Lake.
Why don't you talk about that little leader that you have on there? Why you do that?
This just makes it so much simpler. As far as some people will just clip a swivel on there, and when they hook a fish, you're defeating the whole purpose of having a bead chain, and the fact that your plug slides up to the line, and the fish just has the hooks in its mouth. So if you put a swivel on there and you don't tie direct, then it stops. The fish can actually use the lure for leverage to throw the hooks. Or you can just tie it directly to your line, but then that's, that too takes time. You're spending extra time every time you want to change a plug out. If you just put it on a little leader like this, tie a loop knot in the end, it's just a matter of unsnapping your swivel, and at this point, your lure can slide up to your swivel, which is up here, and he doesn't have the advantage of using the plug.
That feels like 50 pound probably.
That is actually 30.
Oh, it is 30.
That's 30.
So it's a time saver, basically.
It's a time saver, to keep from having to, with the cut plugs, you don't have that
Yeah.
that
Fixed
advantage.
harness.
And with the cut plugs, I back in the day, we eliminated one of the hooks, and we just went to one great big treble on there, and we hit so many fish back then that it really didn't matter if you lost one on occasion. But with this particular setup, it's really nice when you get them in the net, because with the double hook setup, you're gonna spend time untangling your plug and your hooks out of the net bag. With this particular deal here, with one treble, it's just a matter of open the cooler, flip the fish in, and take the plug out, because the hooks are usually in the fish's mouth and not in the net.
Yeah.
And your leader on the number 3 size, that also helps you at the net too.
Yep. Yep. Plugs up out of the way. Yep.
Well, that's a nice little spread there, Davey. Thanks for the tip on the plug as well.
Right.
You can tell the guys that have mates and don't have mates.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
we heard. I'm not calling you out, but I just learned about this, so I thought I might bring it up.
It's been 35 years me doing this without a mate. So,
all right, Dennis, what you got over there?
All right. I can only take credit for half of these baits because my mate is the one. My son, actually, Justin, is the one who kind of got these going for us. But this yellow sparkler. 10-inch with a UVN ice meat rig has, I don't know that it ever went in the water and didn't catch fish. We were talking earlier in the before we even started the show about why he never started with this. We don't know because it always did catch fish, but we never started with it. It always was when something died, we would put this on. So, but this was very good. Generally on a diver. I think he always had it on a low diver. This is another one of Justin's programs here. He had this mag sandbur, moonshine sandbur, and he ran this on a lot of his coppers, or he would run it on a high diver. And there was a 2-week stretch where this thing was unconscious.
Flip that around.
And it didn't really matter. I mean, typically this kind of a spoon, when you look at it, you think, well, that's a first thing in the morning spoon. But this thing would go in the daytime too. So it was very good. It seemed like wherever he put it. This is something we probably both ran quite a bit, a mag, Mongolian beef. I like to run it on my high diver. Justin put it on as, I don't know, a 300 copper or something like that, something a little bit deeper. But this was consistently good for us. This probably was, if I was to rank all these, this was my number 1 right here. This pinky plug. This is probably one of the few plugs that I had multiple out most of the time. It seemed like I always had one on a rigger, my out and down. And then I generally had one on either a lead core, depending on the water temperature, either a lead core or a copper. And this is a plug I ran all day long. Very, very good. These are my other 2 best rigger baits, SS Green Jeans and a SS Superbred. Both of these were same deal, 2-3 weeks. These things were lights out. Every morning you could see these dangling from my rigger rods. Yeah,
those are pretty staple on a lot of boats this year. Definitely the Wonder Breads. We were running them all day and catching fish on them all day.
Right.
And we were free sliding them. I don't know what you were doing, but
we were doubling them up, one in the bottom and a stack.
And a stack, yeah. We had a free slide going with it, and man, they were hitting that free slide.
Wonder Bread was a good color this year. We caught a number of fish on the Wonder Bread plug. Cole, my mate, had a Wonder Bread Dreamweaver spin doctor and a Wonder Bread fly behind it.
Oh, I never heard about that.
Well, yeah, he watches the podcast.
Super secret.
Wonder Bread was a good color this year for sure.
Well, what's your spread down there, Kevin?
Well, for a good,
that's a 10-inch.
That is a 10-inch blade. For most of the summer, This was our first bite every morning.
Hold that right up the other way.
Anywhere from 130 to 180 back on a low diver. First bait in the water every morning. That was, we were joking earlier, we're all on a group text, obviously, and there was never any discussion of it being a 10-inch.
Yeah. Just information you might have just
Well, I mean,
added.
nobody asked. So
Yeah.
we
We'll remember
that
this.
that worked very well for us this year. Both high and low diver.
That's an 8-inch, right?
That's an 8-inch Dreamweaver Spin Doctor with a Pickle Sunshine rig. I don't know if anybody heard of that before, but
Right.
that was very good. Shoot rigger or out on a copper or
Rig.
core, Gray Ghost. That was out there every day in August.
Silver
Very
board
good
there, right?
bait for us. Dennis already touched on the pinky. I got it. Dave mentioned the double hooks. Now I got him hooked into the table. But that was every day on the out and down, like Dennis said. That was and it ran it all day long.
Yeah, you ran it all day.
Hardly changed it. Maybe put it a little deeper after the sun came up, but that was a good bait. And then high divers, those 3 spoons were very good. Cyclonite. Yeah, thanks for the long arm, Denny. The UV flounder pounder, green flounder pounder. All 3 of those were very good all summer long. Anywhere from 10 color to 300 coppers, but we ran most of these on our riggers and divers, and very consistent producers for us.
Now, what do you guys? We all fish out of Ludington, primarily, pretty much exclusively. Anyways, I don't think anybody went anywhere this year.
I don't
But
porch anymore at all.
what? How do you guys feel about the king fishing this year?
It was better than we've seen in years.
I think it was great.
Yeah, you had a good summer, Fuzz.
Well, I think everyone did.
I think
really,
we all did.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think there was less stressful days this year than
Absolutely.
than there was.
I would have described it as better than I expected it.
Oh,
And- and-
by far.
We're in September now, and I'm still fishing basically every day that I can get out, and Dave has been as well, and the fishing's still really pretty solid.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
I honestly thought we would be hoping for the fishing we had in 2020.
I know that was I was
Last year was
Impressed.
the worst year I can remember.
I would agree
for
with
kings.
Yep.
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 They're
that. Other
just
than the BKD years
This
when there
year-
was none.
Yeah.
But
We had kings here with BKD. We did not have them in St. Joe, but we had them here. That's one of the things that always made me know that there was some natural reproduction going on in the PM River, because we still had kings here regardless of the BKD.
right.
I will say though, this year though, I saw more planted fish than I have in years past. I want to say that mature fish, it was probably 50%, where I think was 70 or 80% natural fish.
Oh, yeah,
the last couple
absolutely.
years.
Absolutely.
But this year we had
all the cohos.
a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Yeah, keep
Cohos,
planting
yeah.
the
We did not
cohos.
have cohos. I can't remember the last time we had cohos.
And my understanding is that next year we'll have 100,000 kings going in.
With.
So with and I think it's 50,000.
Oh, really?
Maybe even next year for the coho. So, it's encouraging things. And when you rely on natural reproduction, it's not really a put and take anymore. So I hope that,
Just too many variables involved. You don't. I mean, one year
Yeah.
you might have a good hatch come off, and the next year not. There's just, you got predation. When they come
Sure.
down the river to the lake, how many walleyes and pike are there waiting? The lake trout at the pier heads. All the cormorants.
Yep. Well, I hope that, this is the beginning of a new era of salmon fishing, and these baits are definitely some of the best ones that are out there. So, take some notes on this stuff and look up Captain Chuck's. They'll be happy to sell you any of the stuff mentioned, And thank you guys for coming on today. I hope you guys can get out there. The fall fishing is still going, and it's been pretty solid. So if you can get your boat out there safely, get out there, catch a few more fish this year, and let's get ready for winter and retool for next year. So you guys thanks for tuning in this week, and we hope to see you again next week.